The original Scraplets are very different from my first exposure to them in Transformers Prime. I mean, just look at them. These very alien, robotic creatures with varying designs. What they do share in common is their taste for Cybertronian metal. But let me tell you, when I was reading the old Transformers Marvel comics and I got to issue 29 of the US comic run, I was startled to see Scraplets speak. These things are sapients? In Transformers Prime, these flying blender creatures were more like animals. I didn't think much of the name Scraplets. It seemed to fit either because they were little metal things the size of scrap, or scrap is a Cybertronian curse equivalent to shit, so these could be translated as the little shits. But the original Scraplets pleasantly surprised me because they transform into bits of scrap, namely screws, nuts, bolts, those kinds of things. It is impressive, honestly, how the little humanoid robots with arms, legs, and teeth turn into rings. So this is issue 29 of the US run, Crater Critters, but I'm hopping over stuff about humans and stuff relevant to the earlier issues. A spaceship crashes on fire in the American Southwest. A green robot crawls from the crater, its face and arm chewed up and exposing frame and wire. It groans that it must get help before losing its strength and slipping back into the hole. But a pink ring nut pops out of a hole in the bot's hand and lands on the ground. Back on Cybertron, Ratbat, Chief Decepticon Fuel Auditor, speaks to the Triple Changers, Asteroid, Octave, and Blitzwing. He explains that he sent a freighter with a package to Earth for Phase 1 of his new Earth fuel economy plan. But something went wrong and the freighter's pilot has not contacted him, but the package has made it to Earth. So Ratbat is sending the Triple Changers through the space bridge to find the package and bring it online. Mind you, the space bridge is expensive fuel-wise to turn on, and it looks like a real white-silver suspension bridge. When the Triple Changers arrive on site of the crash, the green robot, in rough state, is still alive. He begs for them to stay away, but the Triple Changers aggressively approach to punish the pilots for crashing. But then, Blitzwing shouts in pain, and we see nuts and bolts attaching to his foot. Blaster and Bumblebee, going as Goldbug right now, together with a human named Charlie, approach the crater. Nearby, the pink nut from before transforms into a bipedal, bug-like bot, and thinks to itself, we see robots. We hungry for robots. It hops over to Goldbug while the Triple Changers spot the Autobots and launch an attack in jet modes. Blaster knocks them out of the sky with his electro-scrambler gun. A stray shot hits the side of the crater, and Charlie begins to fall, so Goldbug rushes to catch him. The Scraplet just misses Goldbug's foot, but he lands at the bottom of the crater right before the withered pilot. He warns Goldbug to stay back, but when asked who he is and what happened to him, the bot explains he was hired by the Decepticons to pilot this freighter to Earth. But when he warped out of hyperlight speed and re-entered space at the edge of the solar system, the freighter needed minor repair work that required him to go outside. While outside, the ship drifted through a cloud that he first thought was space dust. However, we can see it was a cloud of screws, nuts, and bolts. When they touched him, they infected him. Weakened, he crashed the ship into Earth. Now we see a horde of transforming scrap rush toward Goldbug and ignore the human, much like in Transformers Prime. Charlie swats at them and kicks them to keep them away from Goldbug. Meanwhile, the Triple Changers in ground vehicle mode are fighting Blaster. All of them tumble into the crater, but Blaster lands directly on nuts and bolts. Ouch! Screws and nuts start drilling into his hand. He cries out, "What is all this stuff?" "Scraplets, Autobot," says Asteroid. "Now you've caught it just like us, and they'll kill you, just like they'll kill us, if we don't kill you first." Blaster drops us the explanation. Scraplets, I've heard of them. They've evolved the ability to resemble harmless nuts, bolts, screws, and the like, but they're supposed to be the deadliest disease known to mechanical life forms in the entire galaxy. There's no known cure for them. Now, isn't that interesting that here they're treated more like a virus than living creatures? They are something you can catch. Octane says there is a legend of an outbreak that happened on Cybertron in the past, but a rare chemical was found that kills Scraplets. Blaster tries radioing Goldbug silently for them to attack the Decepticons who are weaker than them right now. But Charlie convinces Goldbug that they should leave to find a cure, or Blaster is screwed. Pun unintentional, but here now. If Goldbug stays, he could also get infected. Blaster attacks the Decepticons, but Goldbug leaves. Blaster is furious, shouting that Goldbug is a coward and that he'll come after him. Goldbug feels terrible leaving Blaster, thinking he has been abandoned. He stops, ready to turn back, saying Blaster might not survive long enough even if they do find a cure. But while hesitating in bot mode, the pink Scraplet above the crater runs over and attaches to Goldbug's foot. "We hungry. We eat," it thinks. Charlie tries to pull it off, but its grip is too strong. Before his eyes, the Scraplet replicates, and now there are two, a screw and a nut. Now they have no choice but to hurry as the Scraplets spread on Goldbug like a disease. Very quickly, Goldbug feels weaker. Goldbug is already bemoaning the fact that he may die now, with Blaster believing that he betrayed him. The issue ends here, and the story continues in issue 30, The Cure. Wow, I wonder if in this one they'll find the cure. Ratbat has captured 5 Autobots called the Throttlebots. Instead of killing them, he wants to send them on a mission. Asteroid has reported in saying they'll only complete the mission if Ratbat sends a cure for Scraplets. The Autobots think their mission is going to be to deliver a cure, since Ratbat voices that he doesn't want to lose any more Decepticon lives on this mission. But Ratbat corrects them. He wants the Autobots to destroy those who are infected because the cure is only a legend and the substance is so rare it might not exist. The Autobots have 10 hours, and if they don't complete their mission, Ratbat will destroy Earth to prevent a Scraplet outbreak. Goldbug is too weak to drive, and Charlie pushes him. Spotting a town and gas station, Charlie pushes him there. In the middle of the desert, a local rushes over a cup of water to Charlie out of concern. While Charlie drinks, some water spills and splashes and detaches some Scraplets. Rushing for a hose, Charlie yells that he has to wash his car. Other men hold him back, not wanting to waste what little water they have to wash a junk car like his. Now the Autobots from Cybertron arrive with canisters of acid they are meant to pour into the crater. Blitzwing tries to fly up to attack them, but crashes into the crater wall. Some Scraplets detach from him though and hop up the wall, transforming to bot mode. They say, "Robots. We see more robots. We see more food." Oh, they look scary, mean, and focused. The Autobots don't see them but start heading away anyway because they see Goldbug's tracks. Assuming he's infected, they go to track him down to the gas station so they can kill him. At a distance, they can easily see he is crawling with Scraplets. But even though he's an Autobot, they regretfully decide to go to try to kill him. Charlie jumps in their way, and the Autobots hesitate, not wanting to hurt an unrelated life form. Charlie tries to explain that there is a cure here, but the Throttlebots try to spray Goldbug with acid anyway. Wow, no one is good at listening in these issues, are they? Goldbug transforms and tries to stumble away. Charlie hurls Scraplets at a Throttlebot, startling him, but then throws a bucket of water on him to demonstrate the cure. The Throttlebots have not heard of water before. Charlie takes control of the hose and sprays down Goldbug until he is cured. The Throttlebots apologize for not listening because of their tight deadline. After explaining their mission, Goldbug decides instead of dousing the crater in acid, he can call in a rich and powerful human friend named Blackrock to truck in water. The trucks arrive and Goldbug calls down that they're going to spray the cure on Blaster. Blaster, realizing that it would cure the Decepticons holding him prisoner too, refuses to be cured so that the Decepticons will die. Blaster shouts for the release of the acid. While deliberating, the Autobots are threatened by a pink giant formed from swarms of Scraplets. This one is humanoid, but we saw a similar idea with red Scraplets in IDW. An Autobot tries to hit the giant with a stream of water, but the Scraplets dodge it by forming a hole in the body. The giant roars, "Hungry!" and seizes the water truck, declaring food should not fight back, food should be eaten. Damn, that's cold. And a messed up but intelligent thing for these creatures to be able to say, considering how they're also treated like a mere disease. I just wonder what language they're speaking. Likely not English or Cybertronian, maybe only a language they can understand. The Scraplets throw the truck, which is destroyed in the distance. Now there's only one more truck of water left. While the Scraplet giant fights the Autobots, Goldbug sneaks to the truck and rains down water on Blaster and the Decepticons. The Autobots from Cybertron weren't prepared with weapons, but Goldbug knows the Decepticons have plenty. Cured, the Triple Changers immediately transform to jet mode and fire at the Scraplets. Octane lands in bot mode and starts incinerating the giant with a gun. "Burn, Scraplets! Feel the pain we felt!" The Scraplet giant cries, "Argh! No, you're killing us!" But the Decepticons keep happily shooting them with blasters. Blaster the Autobot breaks free of cuffs that the Decepticons put on him, and Goldbug sprays down the Autobots. The Scraplet giant has fallen, while the Decepticons plan to destroy it one Scraplet at a time. But Blaster lifts the tank of water and hurls it at the giant, killing all the Scraplets. Astrotrain suddenly fires a chip into the human Blackrock's head while no one is looking, completing one of Ratbat's tasks. Then the Triple Changers fly away carrying the cargo of the freighter. The Autobots can't do anything to stop them, but Blaster and Goldbug make up from before. So that's a summary of the original Scraplet story. I thought it was so interesting after only seeing the TFP and IDW Scraplets who are similar to each other. These things are like Crimzeeks, but an infectious, hungry, transforming race of something. Now this is the Marvel continuity, and here Cybertronians don't have a godlike creator, but just somehow evolved on their planet. Same idea with the Quintessons. These Scraplets, aliens, somehow evolved as well, and are drifting in random spots of space. Now, which version of the Scraplets do you like best? So you know me as a Transformers fanatic, but I'm equally obsessed about languages. I was playing with the idea of offering anybody online tutoring or being a study buddy for whatever language. I've studied a ridiculous amount. Costs? Whatever you feel like. This would be to raise money to pay the artists of my Transformers Prime Choose Your Own Adventure story game projects. After all, art be expensive. Payment can be after the lesson on the project's Ko-Fi or GoFundMe. If you're interested, you can check out the email in the description, and if you don't got money, but you got art skills, you can definitely pay me in art scenes instead.